Hello, 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 friends, and welcome to another live. Come on in, say hello. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday. It is beautiful weather here where I'm at in Montgomery, Alabama. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say hello in the chat as you all come in. I'm just going to give it another 30 seconds for you all to say hello. If you're joining me later on, hashtag replay. And I hope that you're having an amazing day. Welcome to day 24, y'all. Like, I am so proud of myself. Like, sometimes it can be very challenging to just kind of show up live, even though no one may show up. But as a realtor, as a business owner, like, we still have to. So come on in, say hello. Happy Saturday. If you're new to my space, say hello. If you are joining me for the first time, drop a 1 in the chat and hashtag replay if you are coming back to watch this later on. But welcome to my daily live. I am Shevvymac, and I'm a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years. And I'm here to share with you real estate tips and strategies for you as a first-time home buyer. I'm also with KW Montgomery here in Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm part of their team. But what I do here as a realtor is really help you as a first-time home buyer or someone else who's looking to purchase their second home to buy their first and second home with ease and confidence, because it's not about just selling you a home. It's truly about educating you to make the best choice for yourself and for your family. So welcome to my live. If you are on IG, thank you for joining me. If you're not on my YouTube channel at SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama, please go check it out and subscribe to that channel and share it with a friend. Today, I want to talk about why you need to stay within your budget as a first-time home buyer, okay? This is so important for you to do, because sometimes when we go out into the market, we have a vision of what is it that we want. We have a budget of what we say, hey, this is what I'm spending, and that is it. But what happens when we start looking, our eyes get bigger because now we're seeing things that we did not imagine for that specific home. So as you go on this journey of looking at homes and you're with your realtor, or maybe you're looking by yourself and you like, hey, this is the house, really, really kind of keep yourself grounded. Thank you so much for joining me. Far from me. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday. Thank you for joining. And if there are any questions, drop a Q in the chat, because I do move along. But if you put a Q in the chat, that lets me know that, hey, there's a question coming. But today I am talking about why you need to stay within your budget as a first-time home buyer. So if you are in the space of, yes, I am considering purchasing a home within 2024, or at least the beginning of 2025, then drop a 2 in the chat. So as you're watching this, whether you're watching the replay later on and you are thinking about it, you are planning, you've already started planning, and you're considering purchasing your next home in 2020 or your first home in 2024, then drop a 2 in the chat. And today I am talking about why you as a first-time home buyer needs to make sure that you stay within your budget. Okay. Number one, as you go out on this housing journey, you're going to see beautiful houses. Oh, excuse me. Yes, you're going to tell your realtor, like, hey, this is my budget. But what happens with your budget, sometimes we are not realistic with our budgets and what our budgets can actually afford based on your pre-approval letter, what you're pre-approved for. So really look at, okay, if you are pre-approved for, say, $350,000, and your realtor is showing you homes, maybe not between 300 and 350, maybe some for 2 something, but it's still not meeting your criteria. The houses that are out there is not what you like. Man, this is not what I want. Or maybe your budget is 100 and, maybe $225,000, because you got to be realistic with your first home. Like, is your your credit score where it needs to be qualified for a larger amount? But even though your credit score is great and you may be qualified for a higher pre-approval amount, I want you to be realistic as a first-time home buyer, because I am telling you, when you start looking at homes, you're going to get excited. You're going to be like, you're going to want all these different things in the home. You're going to want different appliances. Like, you're going to want all the works. But as a first-time home buyer, I want you to be realistic and keep that budget at the forefront of your mind as you are looking at homes with your realtor. Because one, when you keep your budget at the forefront, it's going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you to be like, okay, let me come back to reality, because they're going to show you beautiful homes. They're going to show you homes that are in your budget. They're going to show homes that are above your budget, because by showing you homes above your budget, now you're seeing something with a higher value, because it maybe has more features. It has more bedrooms, more bathrooms, newer appliances. And that's going to kind of shift your mindset to think like, okay, this is nice. This is nice. But I want you to remember, when you stick within your budget, it's going to keep you from regretting or making rash decisions. It's going to keep your payment to where you desire it to be, because if you kind of throw your budget out the window of, okay, this is what I plan to spend, the $225, but now you're spending $350,000. Think about the amount of money that you are going to have to bring to closing, but also closing costs, your down payment, and also your monthly mortgage. Because sometimes we're so excited about the process and the purchase that we don't really think like, okay, at the end of all this excitement, what is my monthly bill going to be? And can I afford this on my own for the next 5-6 years, depending on how long you choose to stay in the home? Because more likely, you're not going to stay in the home for 30 years. Okay. So really think, if I go over my budget, am I willing to be okay to spend this extra $500, for example, that I did not budget for? Because now it's not only the mortgage that you're paying, you also have property taxes annually. You also have utilities. You also have groceries. So do keep all of this in mind, all the things that you still have to pay for. So as you continue to look for your home, as you continue to find beautiful homes with your realtor, definitely keep your budget at the forefront. I will share a quick story with you all. When I was buying my first home, I knew, and I was married at the time, and even though I was married at the time, I told myself that, and my ex-husband, that when we find this home, we don't want to pay no more than 165. That was our budget, 165, because I want to make sure it was realistic for us, because if something happened to one of us, that we could afford the mortgage with one income. Did you hear that? So if you are a married couple, or even if you're not married and you are living with someone and you are a couple and you decide to go in on a house together, be realistic. Because at the end of the day, if you are banking on both incomes at this moment, but life happens, as we all know, someone may lose a job, somebody may get sick, now you're left with one income. Can you afford this mortgage by yourself if you're going in jointly? So it is important for you as a first-time home buyer to always look at, can I afford this mortgage alone? If there are any questions, drop them in the chat, drop a Q, because I want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where you have this mortgage that's $2,500 to $3,000 a month and you cannot maintain it. You cannot maintain it because you went over your home budget. Okay, so always keep that in mind as you are looking at these houses. And sometimes you may feel pressure from your realtor, because even when I was going through my purchase of my first home, I told my realtor, hey, because she kept asking, what is your budget? What is your budget? Well, my budget is 165. And she was like, you know, did you want to look at other houses that were, you know, because at first I was looking at houses and I was like, ooh, kind of like, okay, this is not what I like. And those houses was like between 150, 165, and the ones that were 150, and this was back in 2010. So compared to where we're at today, the prices are not the same. But this was 2010. But, when we were looking, and the houses that she was showing me, they were not what I liked. But she was like, well, you're going to have to go up. And I'm like, I don't want to go up too high. And I was like, the most I will go up is 165. Because I knew with one income, especially being in the military, your spouse got to find another job or move in. So I always keep that at the forefront. Okay, what can I afford with one income? Welcome, Sweetie 29. Thank you for joining. And today I'm sharing with you, as a first-time home buyer, why you need to stick with your budget to purchase your first home. And that is to keep yourself from losing that home and not being able to afford that mortgage at the end of the day. Because like I shared earlier, you have property taxes that is annual. You also have, things for the home. And now you're not managing an apartment. You have a home that you have to support in the sense of electricity, water, all the things, the maintenance of the house. So now you have added costs. So if you feel pressure from your realtor, you need to let them know, because my realtor was saying, oh, you may have to go up. You may have to go up, Shevvy. Well, no, ma'am, I'm going to stay where I'm at, because I knew if I went up, I knew that, okay, if there's only one income plus kids plus childcare, I would be struggling. We would be struggling. So what happened? So I did not pay 165 for the home, because they were asking 170 for the home. They were asking 170 for the home, and it was also a foreclosure. So we ended up meeting in the middle at 167 for that home in 2010. Even though it was 2,000 over, because I knew that I did not want my mortgage to be over $1,100 per month. And guess what? It was under $1,100 a month. It was like $1,000 and I think like $60 per month. Like, you have to be disciplined and you have to stick to your budget, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a mortgage amount that is going to be out of your range to continue to pay consistently. Because imagine having a mortgage where it's like $2,500 per month, plus if you have kids, childcare, plus maintaining the home. It can add up. So stick with your budget. So like I said, just to kind of recap, you want to make sure that you keep your budget at the forefront. If you feel pressure, remain in control. Let your realtor know, hey, this is my budget. I'm not going over this, because this is where I see myself paying for my monthly mortgage per month. Okay? Because they're going to pressure you, because some realtor, they want that sale. They want the sale. But find you a realtor who's going to make sure that they have your best interests at the forefront. Okay? So always keep, and if you feel like, okay, I can bump up a little, $2,000 to $3,000, okay, but you plan for that. You plan for that. So friend, as you navigate this real estate journey, don't feel pressure. Don't look at the beautiful house that's, $350,000 or not $350,000, because on average, depending on where you're at, on average, a house may be $350,000. That's like the best. But don't look for a house that's $500,000. When I was looking for my second home, and again, I had a budget of $300,000, even though I was approved for like 300 and some change. I knew I did not want to go past that. But then when I was looking, and this was during COVID time frame, there were houses that were available that were almost $500,000. And I'm like, heck to the no. Like, heck no. Like, I am not paying this much for a home, because I knew after I closed on this home that I would be paying a lot for my mortgage. And as a single parent, no ma'am, no sir. So I want you to make sure that you are realistic, stay within your budget. If you feel like, hey, you want a house that has all the things, then plan for that. And that may take a little bit of time for you to actually go into that home. But always think about, even if you're married, even if you're dating someone, even if it's a friend, if we get this house together, can I afford this house with one mortgage? Because life happens, relationship ends. At the end of the day, can you afford this house with one mortgage? That is always my thing. And that's always what I do when I purchase a home. Whether I'm married, I'm in a relationship, can I afford this house with one mortgage? Any questions? Let me know if there are any questions as you all are joining me. If you're watching this later on, hashtag replay. And I would love to know if there are any questions at all. And like I said, if you're thinking about purchasing your home in 2024 as a first-time home buyer, drop a 2 in the chat. Okay. All right. If there are no questions, I'm going to give it a few seconds, but I want to say thank you all for joining me. Definitely appreciate you. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It is it is SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. So definitely go check it out and share it with a friend as well. All right. Well, there are no questions so far, but if you have any questions later on, if you think of anything, you can drop them in the chat. Or you can just send me a private DM if you just want to kind of connect with me in the DMs. And I would love to answer your questions. But thank you all so much for joining me. And I will be here tomorrow as well, too, because I decided to go live every day for 30 days during this month of February. Even though it's 29 days, I'll be in, the 1st of March. That will be my last day. And also I'll be having a guest next Thursday. We'll be here about 9:30. And she is going to share the different types of mortgages and the interest rate, all the things. So definitely, if you have questions about that, do join me Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, stay within your budget, okay? Don't get roped in to buy a house that you cannot afford, because you will probably be struggling at the end, all right? All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shevvymac, retired Air Force veteran turned realtor, and I'm part of the KW Montgomery team. And I help first-time home buyers and individuals who are looking to buy their next home with confidence and ease. So if that is you and you're like, yes, I want to be educated to know exactly what I'm doing in this market and make sure that I make the best choice for myself and my family, then I invite you to connect with me, send me a DM, or you can book a call. It's free. It's a free consultation by just clicking the link in my bio here on IG, or you can click the link in the description on YouTube as well too. Or if you would like to email me, just to send me a message, you can email me at Shevvy, SHEVVY, MAC @KW.com. All right. You are welcome, sweetie. Thank you so much for joining. And y'all have an amazing Saturday. And hopefully the weather is great because it is nice here today. I will see you guys tomorrow.